Cool Save Chicks. This is your girl, Day.
I'm Denisa.
This is Lauren.
And I'm Ayana.
And you're tuned into Saved Girl Secrets.
Yes. What's up, girl?
What up?
So, y'all, I got a story to tell.
I'm scared.
I'm
scared.
What's your story?
I ain't gonna lie.
What's your story? What's your story?
So, I know this person, right?
Right.
And she was telling me about the situation that she was having. And so pretty much this person has expressed, everybody knows this person likes this particular guy. Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody knows it. But she's not as close to me as she is with another girl.
So her and the other girl are close.
Yeah, they're like besties. So long story short.
No, we want the long version.
Yeah, we need the long version.
Well, like I said, everybody knows that this girl pretty much likes this guy. Like, you see it when she's around. And the guy even give her signals.
That's what I was about to say. Do he like her, though?
Right. But he gives her signals that he likes her as well. But he's a pretty cool, pretty chill guy. It don't matter, like, who's he's around. He just has good energy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to give you him. And I think everybody appreciates that, but she just appreciates it a little bit more. Okay? And so what ended up happening was her best friend ended up dating the guy.
Well, how? What?
Yeah, how?
So,
and the best friend knew that she liked him?
She had to know.
Right. They best friends. So the best friend...
Because there's some things that happen before you start dating.
Right, it's a process.
You exchange numbers.
But I will say, like, when they would hang out, it was always like a group setting. But you know how we can do. We can give out the little signals that, you know, we feeling a guy. But she was the type of girl where she don't pursue, like, she's not going to be the one that's like, hey.
But her best friend would have known she liked the dude.
Of course. I'm telling y'all, the best friend knew that she liked the dude. But I guess the best friend liked the dude as well. But she was a silent killer. Because she just slithered her way into the situation.
Did she really slither? Did they have a conversation and they knew both of them liked the same person?
No, the conversation was never had.
So she just
so they didn't know that they liked the same person.
No.
What?
That's not your best friend then.
That's not your friend. Because my friends know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not now because I got a man. But before I had a man.
They would know.
Yes. It was
like I like him. Don't touch him. I like him.
So y'all, this is how it was brought to me, okay? Okay, so when the friend came to me, she was like, you know, I don't understand why she would do this. She knew that I really, really liked this guy.
So that means they had a conversation.
She knew. So they knew. Okay.
They had a conversation once they became official. But she was like, she knew that I really, really liked this guy and that I had feelings for this guy. And for her to be in a position now where she's actually an item with this guy, it really, really bothered her. Ooh, bothered her. Ooh.
Bothered her. Bothered you.
Oh, Lord. I'm talking like TD Jakes. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, it really, really bothered her. Mm-hmm. And so she was coming to me and just kind of, you know, having, I'm that person where, you know, they can come and just talk and, you know, we'll have those honest conversations. And so I pretty much laid it out there and I said, girl, I just feel like
that ain't your friend.
That's not your friend.
Girl, she's not your friend.
Are they still friends now?
No, they're not talking.
I would be friends.
But it's still weird because we're all friends. It's a group of us. So, you know, she's not the type of person that if there's a group setting or if there's an event, she's not going to show up. Mm-hmm. She still shows up, but it's just
awkward.
It's very awkward because now you're seeing somebody that everyone thought she was extremely close with, now booed up with the guy that everybody knew that she liked.
And he gave hints too that he liked her as well.
He gave hints
like,
that he liked her.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. So why he get with the best friend? Like, if you was
he wasn't checking for her. That's why he got with the best friend. She liked him. He didn't like her. He probably always liked the best friend.
He probably liked both of them.
Yeah,
he probably did. Because I know dudes that do that. But I was just saying, bump all that. We don't care about the fact that he liked her. He liked both of them. Okay,
it's about the girl.
It's about the girl. It's about ethics. And the fact was she didn't have them.
Okay.
Girl code.
Speaking of ethics and girl code, what would y'all do in this situation? Sade, I'm gonna call you out first.
Yeah, she do. Sade,
what would you do?
Or
have you had a situation similar to this before?
I'm trying to think. Have I ever dated someone that my friend liked and said that they liked them first?
Or your friend dated somebody that you liked?
I don't think my friends have ever dated somebody that I liked. It's weird. I've always liked the most awkward guys that would never actually approach me. So that's a whole nother story in itself. But I think that I've probably dated a person that one of my friends has liked before. But I don't think they liked them to the point where it would have been an issue.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it's ever been serious to the point where it's like, oh, we're an item. You know what I mean? But if I had a friend who knew that I liked a guy and she dated the guy that I liked, we probably wouldn't be friends no more.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I think that that's crazy.
Yeah.
Very. I think it's crazy too. And that's what I told her. I was like, girl, she just showed you who she was. And the end of the day, she let you know that, hey, this is how I rock. She's not your friend, because if it was a friend, she would have came to you and been like, hey, he giving me signals that he kind of feeling me. Or she would have been honest with you to be like, I'm kind of feeling him too.
So I have a question. In that situation, if you like somebody, right? You really like somebody, and your friend comes to you and says, I'm really feeling him too. Like, this is prior. You guys hadn't had a conversation about the situation.
Okay.
Or maybe you have. Either way, what would your response be? Are you immediately like, girl, I like him too? Or is it you know what, she came first, she said it first, so I'm going to let her have that one?
My response would be, may the best cool save chick win.
No, I was thinking the same thing Lauren was saying. Because my mindset is you could date him if you want to.
Right.
But you better never bring him to my cookout, because all I'm saying is you dating him don't change the fact that I done already told you that I like him.
I don't think I've ever told somebody, oh, I like him too. I would be like, oh, I thought he was cute too. Oh, he cute. But
what if you did like him?
Right.
I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever liked a friend that my friend liked. It would be just like an acquaintance or a girl that I really didn't care about. So I don't know. Like,
all right, so let's take that off the table. Let's talk about something else. Like, what are other things that are inclinations that girl, she ain't your friend?
Gossip. I like that. That's the big thing now, the gossip. Like, it's people or situations. Like, I don't know. I'm 33 years old, and it just always seemed like people trying to get to be your friend.
To know your business.
Listen, I'm gonna be straight. People want to get to know you, especially in the church. They want to get to know you. They want to be your friend just to know your business and to know everything that you know and who you're around and such and blah, blah, blah. Because I know I felt certain situations, even between, like, with me and Sade, like, people, like, know her. Like,
this is news to us.
Like, I'm just like, no, nothing bad with her, but like, nothing bad with her, but it's like, oh, well, you know her, so maybe you cool too. Like, so they see, like, both of us know each other, and the only reason they may be talking to me is because I know her. And I've experienced that quite a bit in the church. Like, it's like, oh, so that's why you talking to me? And at the minute I feel that, I'll be like, nah, I make my exit strategy. I'll be like, nope, I'm not fooling with you. Lord. So yeah, but that, I feel like that is one of the biggest things, especially with women in church, is the gossip and wanting to get to know you based off of who you know. So
I think that's really anybody. If you ask me, like, even in the professional world, there's a lot of people.
True.
Like, I go to a lot of different events concerning my
especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, everybody's trying to have the come up. You know, everybody's trying to have the come up. So if they see you with somebody and they feel like it could be beneficial, of course they're gonna try and get connected with you because they're feeling like you could be an asset to their network.
But is that wrong if it's considered? Is it networking or is it manipulation?
I just say don't call them your friend.
I feel
just
like
be like, yo, that's my associate, or we cool. That's.
I put a lot of people in the we cool thing until like I know I feel you out. Like, everybody is the we cool.
Right.
Every single person is the we cool until I feel you out, because I've allowed certain people in my space, that I'm thinking that they cool, like, for real, and it bit me. Cool. It bit me in the butt bad.
I think for me, like, manipulation for me is like the inclination that girl, she ain't your friend. Like, I think back to, like, having friendships where when I was in a certain sphere or whatever, where I would like go to clubs or go to different events and stuff like that, and how there were people who would be my friend to do like those things. But once I I don't know how many people are watching know my story, but I used to be in entertainment. I quit my job and I moved to Atlanta to work at a church, and I lost a lot of friends. And I feel like I lost a lot of friends because it was almost like what I had to offer kind of stopped. And so it was like, because you no longer offer us the benefit
That's
of
crazy, though.
going to events or doing this or doing that, it's kind of like, oh, we good, like, you know, whatever. And then there were some people who kept in touch with me, and so I'm like, that's a real friend.
Right.
A person who calls me, who checks on me, is like, yo, how you doing down there? You know what I mean? They're not looking for anything from me. But I think a real inclination that a person isn't your friend is when there's manipulation or when a person is using you. When a person is using you and you're continually giving, but you never ever receive anything in return. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
I feel like for me, like I've had an experience, especially as I was kind of growing into the age that I am now. I was experiencing.
How old are you, Lauren?
I am 28. Okay. But I experienced a lot of the low-key hating. You know, like, you know.
What is low-key hating?
I'll
The
give
nice,
you an example.
nasty.
Yeah, so like as many of you all know, shameless plug, Stylewell. I love fashion. It's like something that I'm very much so interested in. And there was a particular person when I was a little bit younger, came into my life, and she was like, "Oh yeah, girl, let's go shopping." And I was just like, "Oh sure, you know, who doesn't love to shop?" And so we went shopping. But what I found to me was just a little bit uneasy for me is, say for instance, we went into a store and both she and I picked up the same thing. And I'd be like, "Oh girl, you got that too? That's cute. That's super cute. You should get that." That's my response.
Right.
Her response to me is, "Oh, you need to put that back." And I was like,
No,
what?
ma'am.
Right.
My money is great.
First of all,
I can buy what I want.
I don't run in the same circle as you. They made more than one because they knew it was cute. Like, why are you telling me to put something back just because you and I decided to pick it up at the same time?
Was she older than you, or
So
we were the
younger?
same age.
It was like low-key hate.
It was like it was very
That ain't low-key.
Yeah, I was about to say that ain't low key, because I'm like,
That's
who
high
are
key.
you to
She
tell
told you
me?
to your face to put it back. That ain't
I'm a
low key.
grown woman. You telling me to put some clothes back, girl? Bye. That ain't low key.
That's not low key. Okay,
That's
so it
not
was just
low-key.
hating.
Yeah, she was hating. She was showing her true colors for real.
But I mean, I've had certain experiences like that, where it just seems like at first everything is Gucci, and then in the end it's like they start to get crazy. And I was like, man, I don't.
I thought you was cool.
Yeah, I thought you was cool, and
It's
I thought
so draining.
Yeah.
That's draining. Like, I'm so tired of that.
I think as I get older, like, I'm in a space where it's like, if you come with something that is gonna dull my energy, I don't want none.
Absolutely.
Like,
Right.
I'm good. Like, I used to be very much like I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to let anybody down. And it's like the older I get, it's like, nah, like, this is my energy. I'm protecting it.
Yeah.
If you are draining, like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
can't have you in my space.
I'm definitely in that space now, especially like being a mom, being a wife. I'm like, it's like being a wife, yes. But then when Haven came in the picture, I was like, listen, I have, she's 17 months. I have a 17-month-year-old.
Why do people do
Right,
that?
I was just about to say that. I feel like doing that. Really? Why didn't you just say you got a 1-year-old?
You know what? You know, the funny thing is, I said that too when I didn't have a child, and now I'm sitting here talking about 17-month-year-old. She is one.
I'm like,
I have
how
a 1-year-old.
Exactly.
I have
You're the
a
only one up
14,
here with a
14.
child. If you want to say 17 months, say 17 months.
No.
I have a 1-year-old, and I'm like, listen, I'm not going back and forth with a 30-some-year-old, 20-some-year-old. I'm like, I have a child. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, I don't have time for that. Like, my energy goes towards my family and different things like that. I'm not going back and forth with no woman. No.
That's real. It's crazy to listen to you guys and to, hear your stories, because for me, it's completely different. Well, I'd have a similar story, but I ain't ready to share that yet, eventually. But for me, like, I've had the same core group of friends since I was probably like 11, 12, 13. Like, we're talking all the way until my 20s. like probably till like 25, 26-ish is when, people start to grow apart or things change. And for me, I was that friend that everybody, like you said, Lauren, everybody calls you, everybody be like, oh girl, you didn't want to pick everybody up. And for me, I felt like whenever I was no longer that person, that's when I saw the group change. That's when I saw the group dynamic change. And I was so pissed off, to be real with y'all, because I'm like, really? Like, are we friends or not? Because I wasn't given the same grace. Like, oh, you don't call nobody no more. You don't come home no more. You don't do all this. Well, if it takes that simple thing for the whole dynamic to change, like, were you really my friend? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, what's really good?
Especially the fact that you're in a whole different state. Like, because I know a little bit about your story. And
right.
But you're in a different state, though. Like, what?
Right. By myself. Yeah. And majority of my friends are still, together in that state. So they can drive and see each other.
What
or they
state?
can, North Carolina. So they can see each other, it's driving distance. One lives, in another city, so that's a little farther. But still, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Nobody else is here.
Yeah.
So I would get the feedback, oh, you hang out with your church friends, or you do all this. So what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to stay in the house?
But we bucket, it's funny how we bucket our friends, though. Because, like, when you said that, I thought to myself, like, oh, okay, I remember having my church friends. I remember having my work friends.
Right.
I remember having, like, my best friends from high school, Leslie and Carissa, what's up? And my college friends, Sierra, what's up?
Right.
But it's like, I feel like at 31, I'm just learning to be a friend.
Right, period.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
Like, girl, I wasn't your friend. Like, I was a bad friend. And I think for me, it took a lot to come to that realization, but I realized that I was definitely the friend where, like, my friend Leslie, my best friend Leslie, like, I literally would call her whenever I had an issue. Like, Leslie, this is happening. Leslie, I need this. Leslie, da-da-da-da-da. But it was almost like Leslie never really leaned on me for anything. And I feel like we've just gotten to a point in our lives where Leslie can call me and I can talk to her. And I realized that I wasn't that friend. And it was hard for me to realize that.
I love that you say that, because I think I recently had a conversation with one of the, at our group that we kind of, stopped talking for a brief period of time. And it was a similar situation where it was like, oh, I didn't realize that that was the dynamic, that you're the strong friend and we never reach out to you. And, that's what that is. Yeah. But I also didn't realize that I too didn't give them that opportunity, because I was the strong friend. I didn't ask for help. I wasn't like, okay, y'all don't check on me. I didn't communicate that I needed to be checked on.
Right.
So at one point I was bitter and I was holding them to a standard that I never communicated. So it's like I was also not being a good friend, because I held bitterness and I felt the way without really communicating how I felt, but I truly, didn't communicate. So it's like a two-edged thing. So I've not been a good friend, and you were also not a good friend. So where do we go from here?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I've also been guilty of not being a good friend, and I think even now today
Why are
I
you
could,
whispering?
right, because I'm a little ashamed, people can see me.
I admit at one point I was not a good friend. I wasn't into my circle.
I think we can
Duplin
all
County,
admit
what's up?
that, though. I think we can all admit that.
I mean,
admit that.
but I think the bigger picture in that is recognizing what doesn't make you a good friend. Like for me, I'm gonna be honest, it's my communication.
Same.
I'd be like,
Also,
I would rather lay down and take a nap than call. This is gonna sound bad. Than call you on the phone to check.
I know who I ain't gonna call out of this table.
But people end up calling me, so it's imbalanced.
Okay. Jesus.
I'm just now honestly getting to the place where the Lord will put somebody on my heart, and I'll be like, all right, God, I'm gonna call them, because I'll never forget. And this is starting to get a little bit deep, but I'll never forget the Lord told me to call my grandfather on one particular day. And it's not, so that means it's not just friend, it's family too. Do that with everybody.
Bad granddaughter.
A good sister, a good daughter,
right?
Absolutely,
Exactly.
Employee,
a good cousin.
Exactly.
And
so it was like one day the Lord told me to call my grandfather, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll call him eventually. And long story short, my grandfather ended up passing away. And I was like, okay, well, maybe the Lord was telling me to call him so that we can actually have that last conversation before he called him home. And so it's like, and honestly, that happened in 2016, and we're in 2019, and I still didn't realize like the importance of having communication with people. But sometimes, when you realize that you're not the bestest friend, or you're not really exhibiting some of those qualities of a good friend. It's just that constant work that you have to do personally.
Yeah.
So it's like I constantly ask myself the question of, why don't I want to call? Because if truth be told, and my mom got on me about this, she was like, your grandpa gonna only talk to you about 5 minutes.
That's real.
And I'm like
real.
that, and she was like, so you're telling me you couldn't sacrifice 5 minutes? And like, I didn't even look at it like that. And I think it kind of goes back to the place of like being selfish. Like, oh yeah, I would rather take a nap and then to call my grandfather or call my friend and check on them. And so I know that for me is like a really, really big thing I need to work on. And especially the more and more I'm adding to my plate, it's like, okay, Lauren, you really need to take time and investing in people that you say you love, you know?
It's funny that you say that, because there's 2 things that come up for me. One, I used to be in a space where I would never call my mom. Like, even when I lived back in the DMV, like, I would spend so much time with other women and not my mother. And I would
Other women that were like a motherly figure.
Or yeah, like people who were like play-ons, or people who I worked with that were like mentors, like different stuff. But I would never really have consistent communication with my mom. And it's funny because once I became like, you know, late 20s, early 30s, and I started having communication with her on a regular basis, when I moved to Atlanta probably is when it happened, I realized, I'm like, dang, there was so much I was missing. And I realized that it's like, if I call my mom and I just let her talk, if I don't need to talk, she won't get off the phone with me. And so now I'm at a point where it's like, just stay on the phone until she get off the phone. Yep. And I mean, she's more apt for me to call her and be like, all right, now I got to, I'm driving.
Yeah. I got to pay attention. I'll call you back.
Yeah. And then the second thing that you mentioned was, you know, when God lays somebody on your heart. And for me, I used to use that as an excuse. Like, I'm like, okay, if I, you know, send a text if God gives me a word for somebody, or if I call somebody that God lays on my heart, like, that's enough. And I realized that it's not, like, that's not enough. Like, I have to get to the point, like you said, where I am consistently communicating with people who mean something to me. And I realized that sometimes it's not for the other person, it's for me.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when you're going through and when you're having a rough week, when you're having a rough day, whatever it is, sometimes you just calling your best friend, your cousin, your sister, whoever, you know, God could have given them a word for you. But it's almost like you are so, you know, invested in yourself and tied up in your next thing on your to-do list that you don't think to call people. And that person is literally the person who can lift the weight of the world off of your shoulders by saying something. You know what I mean?
I love that you say that, because that's how intentional God is, right? To think that he loves on us through other people. That's exactly this, our extension, our friendship, how we know each other and being blessed by each other. Even outside of church, the people that you know and you're blessed to know, and it's because they love on you and you love on them. That's an expression of God's love. So I think learning that to enjoy the moment and to see the person for who they are and their journey, and just like love on them, just, you know, just a little bit. Like you guys are saying, it doesn't take 10 hours or 20 minutes. It's literally just being intentional and getting to know someone and allowing God to be him and throughout you guys' relationship and friendship.
I think it's a lot of overthinking. Like, we overthink. Like, when you said it doesn't take that much, like, we overthink, oh man, if I call, like how you said your mom, like, oh man, if I call my mom, oh, she gonna have you on the phone forever. And no, my mom would be like, oh no, I gotta go in the bank, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, or even a friend, it's like, oh, I do not feel like hearing about her business right now. But it's like, don't go into it like that. Just, I feel like we go into it with selfish motives, thinking about ourselves, like,
and that's everything a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, as you all are like talking, and pretty much you're talking about qualities of a good friend. And as you all were talking, to me it started, I started to kind of reflect on the fact of even like once you get into a relationship. And I was like, dang, Lauren, if you can't even call your friend or your granddaddy.
Oh, but we call the man though.
Okay. That's the one person we call.
I'm like, what? Like, but I will even say, I mean, at least I'm consistent, because I will say, even when I was in a relationship, I wasn't calling my, my boyfriend.
No, I gotta think about it.
That's why y'all broke up. No,
I don't be calling my man.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
but be mad if you don't
call me. Sure, that was me.
What y'all got going on?
100%.
Lord, if you send them, I'll call them. Okay, and I'll be glad if you call me.
100%. But I mean, like I said, as you all were talking, I was like, dang, that's something that I need to work on. Because if you're asking God to bring these people into your life and you're asking for these things as it concerns your life, seem like you would want to have the qualities to keep what it is that you're asking for.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things in life or in a marriage, my mom always says, is communication. And my mom always tells me, she was like, before me and your father were married, he was my friend.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So as you guys are talking, I'm like, dang, I really need to hurry up and get this friendship thing together.
So I can get me a man.
Right, exactly. So I can know exactly what to do when God does bring that, that gift to me. Because that's a sad thing, to ask God for something and you ain't prepared for it.
Listen. All right. Amen. Well, we're going to
That's
go
a word.
yes, that is a word. And we're going to come back with a word.
Hey.
But here's a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this.
Saved Girl Secrets is brought to you in part by the Hair Razor Hair and Skin Oil. Visit www.thehairrazor.com for more info.
All right, welcome back to Saved Girl Secrets. We are clearly dropping stuff inside of here.
Fire. That's what we're dropping.
Fire.
Fire.
Dropping fire.
I need a clue bomb, whatever thing.
Drop a Q's bomb.
Yes.
DJ Clue, not Q's.
Oh, Q. Oh, Q.
I don't know what
See,
it
that's why you need to be original.
is. You know what?
Adidas.
Anyway, I got a word.
What's the word?
Oh,
Today's
God.
word, the word for today, comes from John 15 and 15.
15.
But this is the message version, so I got to read 11 through 15. Amen. And it reads, I've told you these things for a purpose, that my joy might be your joy and your joy wholly mature. This is my command. Love one another the way I loved you. This is the very best way to love. Put your life on the line for your friends. That would it say. You are my friends when you do the things I command you. I am no longer calling you servants, because servants don't understand what their master is thinking and planning. No, I've named you friends because I let you in on everything I've heard from the Father. There's a version that says that I call you my friends because my friends know my secrets. And I realized that when we talk about, girl, that's not your friend. A person that you cannot be yourself with, that you can't be transparent with, that you can't be vulnerable with, that is not your friend. A friend is a person who you can tell your secrets to. You can pour your heart out, you can be vulnerable, you can be transparent, and that person will receive you whether or not, they feel like what you're doing is right. They are able to either give you the word as a Christian friend or cover you with the word.
That's important. Yes.
When you're going through whatever it is you're going through.
I love the fact that you say that, because that is extremely important. That was one thing I felt like I lacked in the beginning, was having friends that know how to cover you. Like that is, if you have a friend that don't know how to pray for you and you're the only one that's praying for them, my God, like it's a terrible place to be in.
And I mean, it doesn't have, I feel like it doesn't have to be the same person. Like, I think if there's a person who's younger than you, who's not as mature, and you're covering them, that you should also have somebody who is more mature than you covering you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think you should have one on both ends of that spectrum. So
I think about when the word also says that a friend sticketh closer than a
a-
brother.
to a brother.
You know what I mean? Like,
Listen.
just thinking about that friendship and thinking that, like you said, you have someone to cover you, because realistically, we don't have it all together, and there is bound to be a time when you need somebody.
Yes.
And we don't always want to call our mom and dad and them cousins and them. We don't want to do that. That's not what we want to do. So
No.
to think that we are graced with a person who is not even related to us by blood,
Yes.
but literally will cover and walk with us through whatever we're going through.
Yeah.
What?
Listen, I think my best friend, Leslie, I feel like one of the reasons why I love her is because I can call her and I can be like, and then this happened, and he was like, and then I was like, and then I said, and then it said, here go this screenshot. And she'd be like, but you wrong, though.
Yeah.
But you wrong.
on now.
Friend.
And I'd be like, I'm going to call you back. Let me call Carissa, because she going to see eye to eye. And I mean, but those are the type of friends you need.
Yes.
Friends that's like, they're covering you, but they hold you accountable, and they're like, nah, bro, like you out of order. Now, I ain't going to tell him that you out of order, but I'm going to let you know to your face, you out of order.
Yep.
So.
See, I want one of them friends. You know how James Brown, when he used to perform on stage, and he got down on his knee, and then you had that person that threw that jacket on him. That's what I need. I need one of them friends right there that's willing to throw that jacket on it.
What is wrong with you?
Okay.
You need an armor bearer.
Oh God, that would be nice. If you want to put an application for an armor bearer, email us your resumes at savegirlsecrets@gmail.com.
I'm deleting all of them.
Oh my God.
Slide in my DMs at thestarwell.
Oh Lord, you sure you want people sliding in your DMs?
No, I do not slide in my DMs. I just told y'all I don't communicate, so you gonna slide in and not hear anything from me.
Block us thee, oh Lord, block us thee.
Oh my God. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like this was a great episode, and
wait. We have a hashtag.
Yeah, winning.
We gotta hash it out.
And winning.
This is a personal hashtag for me. So I'm gonna hash it out, and I'm gonna say hashtag get it together.
Okay.
Get it together.
I'm gonna say hashtag friends are in. No, that hashtag
That's
sucks.
cheesy.
It is a little cheesy.
That's a little
It's a little cheerleader.
I was a cheerleader.
I was too. Oh my God, were you a flyer?
I was a flyer.
Really? Me
Until
too.
I fell, and then
Until I gained weight, and then I became a base.
What is happening? What is happening?
But I was still on the team. That's what's most important.
Denise, give us a hashtag. We don't want Lauren.
My hashtag is girl, I still love you.
Oh, I like
that's
that
good.
one.
Yeah, that's my hashtag.
I like that one.
Girl, I still love you. What you got?
I like that one because it's like, I feel like, honestly, at the end of this episode, I feel like everybody should be reevaluating their friendships, possibly restoring some friendships. So it's girl, I still love you. Because we went on both sides. We were like, girl, she ain't your friend. And then we ain't good friends either.
Right.
So, girl, I still love you.
I'm on a path to becoming a good friend.
You know
I
what?
know.
You
Girl,
know what?
I still love you.
Friend.
Girl, I still love you.
No, Ayana's hashtag should have been, girl, we good.
That's definitely your hashtag.
That's our hashtag. That is our hashtag. Girl, we good.
We good.
And there's different levels to my we good.
Right.
You know, there are levels too.
So that's the one that we're going with.
Girl, we good.
Hashtag
Girl, we good.
All right.
You know what? With this episode, I really feel like we have this segment of women currently winning.
Yes.
And with this whole thing, I feel this energy. I feel a little vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like our women crush, our women currently winning, should be all the women out there who are just reevaluating, like Ayana said. You know, you're reevaluating. You see where you messed up. You see where you have areas of improvement.
Putting your pride aside.
Okay.
Right.
And you giving yourself grace to figure it out. And we reaching out and being grown women and figuring out, what works. And like they said, like on the path of becoming a great friend. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like you winning, sis. You're leveling up. You're putting yourself first. You're gonna be a great friend because of this. I feel like you're women currently winning.
Yep.
All right,
I like that.
I like that.
So
I like
drop
that.
your hashtag on our Instagram page at Save Girl Secrets. If you are listening to this podcast, be sure to check out the YouTube channel on Cool Save Chicks TV. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Saved Girl Secrets. Anything else y'all got to say before we close it out?
I mean, y'all stay tuned. That's what I got.
Yeah. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to talk about something, if you want us to address anything, email us at where again, Sade?
At savedgirlsecrets@gmail.com.
Yes.
I mean, we all about addressing the issues that you do not want to admit that you have. So if you have an issue, we can talk about it.
I was just about to say that.
We all got it.
I was just about to say that if you have any secrets that you want us to talk about, email
Secret
us.
letters. How about secret letters?
Secret letters.
We got something on the site for that.
letters.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Send us a secret letter.
Send us a secret letter.
Secret letter.
Don't send no love letter.
Jesus.
Don't send no love.
I mean, unless you got a fine brother or something, you can send him a secret letter.
Save Girl
Just saying.
gmail.com. Send us your secret. We could get you a strategy. All right, we gonna walk this thing out together.
Yes.
Denise, don't you want to pray us out?
I I do want to pray us out. So, Father God, we just thank you for all of the women that are currently listening, even if they aren't women, if they're men being liberated and really feeling like this ministered to them. We thank you for that. We thank you for the opportunity to just come together and grow in you. We thank you for the grace for when we mess up. We thank you that we don't have it together and you literally dwell on the inside of us and you walk us through whatever the messes that we have made, Jesus, because Lord knows we've made them. But we thank you for guiding us and gracing us. And we just thank you for, Save Girl Secrets. We thank you for the opportunity to be vulnerable and express these secrets. We thank you for women who from this podcast are liberated and can share their secrets, because the secret is it's all you, my guy. It's all you. So in Jesus' name, I thank you for this. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you,
Oh,
Miss
God.
Lane. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.